Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Ellison. I am currently a student at the College of Southern Idaho, and today I will be presenting a persuasive speech talking about public school and homeschool. The goal of this speech will be to persuade my audience to encourage the government to provide supplementary income to families who would like to homeschool their children rather than sending them to public school. I'll discuss the problem, solution, and action, which is how you as an individual can help, starting with the problem. The problem is public school has become ineffective. It was created to teach students how to work in factories. They were taught the same general information at the same pace, the same classroom setting, with very little variation to those rules. One issue that most public school students experience is that they suffer from a lack of sleep, which is a lot more dangerous than it seems. A Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine article has documented sleep loss in teens, resulting in increased risk of obesity, metabolic dysfunction, hypertension, increased risk of stroke, changes in the immune system, high rates of caffeine consumption, non-medical use of stimulants, lower level of physical activity, and motor vehicle accidents. These accidents put many people at risk, not just the student suffering from the lack of sleep behind the wheel. One of the most notable issues with public school is the lack of individualized attention given to students. Public school provides special education for certain cases, but it's simply not enough, and it's not effective. The Employment Characteristics of Families 2020 proposed a study to help children with autism learn more effectively. Teachers who participated in this study found that when homeschool collaboration occurred, the behavior of a child with autism was positively impacted and changed for the better. Children with autism may display rigidity in their daily activities, resulting in friction between school and home. This study was successful, but the amount of attention and care required for the study was so unrealistic. It would not be possible to apply this to every public school in the country. Everyone's unique. Everyone learns differently. And in order to teach your child what they need to know in the best way that they specifically can learn, they need their own customized curriculum. And they need a lot more individualized attention than they're getting. Now you know the problem, but what is the solution? Well, in simple terms, the state government would pay for families to homeschool their children rather than needing to go to work to earn that money. The amount of money the government would save by switching from public school to homeschool is a great incentive. According to Brian Ray's article, Homeschooling the Research, the annual cost that the government pays for public school is about $50,240 per pupil. That is individual. And in contrast, taxpayers spend nothing on the vast majority of homeschool students, while homeschool families spend an average of $600 per student annually for their education. That's a pretty big difference. This means that homeschooling is cheaper and more effective. It takes a lot of effort and determination on the parents' part to ensure that their child is properly homeschooled. A fail-safe way to ensure these children learn, and effectively as well, is to not provide the money to children who cannot reach and successfully complete expectations set by the government to ensure that they are, in fact, advancing. There's no point to homeschooling if your children aren't learning even the basics. At that point, you might as well send them to public school. People don't like to change. Humans are creatures of habit, as stated in Nelson, Roback, Rostrom, and Elstrom's article, Creatures of Habit, Accounting for the Role of Habit in Implementation Research on Clinical Behavior Change, 2012. But changing the education system opens a lot of possibilities and solves a lot of problems caused by a lack of education. One of the first steps to making better decisions and living a better life and a more comfortable life is education. The more educated we are, the better. The fewer mistakes we make. And for example, there could be many people in this world with the creativity it takes to cure cancer. However, they don't have the education to put their skills to the test. And public schools simply cannot provide that for them. Despite the fear of change that many of us have, switching from public school to homeschool can greatly improve our country as a whole. What can you do as an individual? What can you do? Well, rather than looking at this as a huge project, as a big issue, that's something that might be too large for someone to handle alone, think of it this way. Simply spreading the word about what you have learned in regards to education, or even better, writing a letter to your state government, talking about this issue, and encouraging them to promote this change are small, very simple things you can do that can make a very, very big impact. We all want what's best for our children, their children's children, and generations to come. Help them live a better life, make a better world, and get a better education. Choose homeschool. Thank you very much for your time.